I said I was going to do the glow plugs on this thing, so basically what you got to do is you take these mud flaps off. You got my screws here. I'm going to take this off so this whole complete piece comes off. More likely you don't have this on your truck, so you don't have to worry about it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the tabs off, these screws here, and these tabs, which I'm missing them some. So I want to get this fender skirt out so that the glow plugs run this way and the fuel filter runs that way, because I got to do the fuel filter as well. So while I have this all tore apart, I'm going to get the fuel filter. So I'm going to take this off and get to my glow plugs. Okay, got all the screws out. Pull this busted. Slide this whole piece out with all the mud and shit. So, hell, that's what we're looking at. I know this is going to be fun because this truck's got a lot of rust on it. See my shocks here. I'm going to replace these sooner or later. It's not horrible. Actually, when I pull off that fender piece, I figured this sumbitch had been all rusted out, but it's not. So I'm just going to clean all this up, and then when I do the body work later and sanding it, do my paint job, I'll be good. Do you see where they've put the rubber coat on here over the rust like idiots? So I'm going to have to treat all that. I don't know if now or maybe in the future I'm going to replace all these components down here, all the steering components. I have a funny feeling that this bolt that's running through these, they're probably seized in the center with all this rust. They've got to be, I would think. So that's the only thing that's really holding me back. But from here, you got your glow plugs right here. See each and every one of them. There's one there, one there, one there, one there. So these are nice and easy. There's just 4 of them. Pop them loose and pull them out. Here's your fuel filter right here. I'll be removing that, which isn't too hard. You'll just pretty much pop this tab off, unscrew it, pop it down, take this off. I'll show you that while I do it. So we're on a glow plug video right now, so we're going to talk about the glow plugs. So there they are. What I'm going to do is take each and every one of these bolts off, or these nuts. I think I'm going to probably spray this with a bunch of PB lube, because I'm sure that's probably seized in there pretty good. Anyway, all you got to do is just pop those out. I'll show you what the new glow plugs look like. So, like I said, I ordered these off eBay. I heard the AC Delco was the one to go with, so those are the ones I ordered. I got the full set of 8 for like 45 bucks. And they just come in these little boxes here. And that's what your new little glow plug looks like. So we just removed those. These even got the new nuts on top so I can get rid of the rusted ones and install these. Now this truck, it only had the check engine light on. When I scanned it, it actually said that just one was out. I think it was like bank 1 was out. But I figured, you know, as much as this truck hasn't been maintained, I'm just going to buy all 8 for the 45 bucks. And while I'm there, I'll just put them all in. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Alright guys, moving on. So my advice to you, the advice I'm going to take myself, I didn't do this, but don't put these on. I mean, yeah, the bushwhackers and all that stuff look cool, but I mean, maybe if you got some rust to hide, or you don't want to do the body work on this stuff, but people don't realize that when you put something like that on, you're creating a pocket for moisture to sit, mud to get up there, and then it'll just start rusting the inside of your fender wells. Now my front end of my truck is good, but the back ones have the same thing, and everything up under there is completely rusted. Chunky paint. It's not all the way through the bed, but it's just chunky paint, and I just don't advise it. I mean, it's your truck, but I'll never do it. I'm taking mine off. I'm doing the body work on all this, and I'm leaving them off. I don't want them back on there. So anyway, just removing these now. I got those. I got a couple more clips to do, and then I'm going to pull this fender skirt out. Okay, guys. That whole fender skirt's off. Sitting over there. Now I got to really look at the engine under here. So from this side, if you can see, there's a glow plug there, and a glow plug there, on right there, and then on right here. Those actually look like they're really easy to get to, so I don't think I'm gonna have to move any piping or anything. I would love to take this intercooler pipe off. See all that oil? But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave these fender skirts off because I'm gonna have to work on this frame. You know, the frame. Chunky frame. And I have some shocks I'm gonna replace, so you know, while I have all this out and everything open, I'm gonna go ahead and do the framework. Now I'm gonna do the shock replacement. And I'm gonna take this pipe out right here, the intercooler pipe, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint that to make it look nice and shiny, because it's pretty ugly looking right now. Just a little added touch so my truck don't look completely ugly and rusted like it does. So anyway, I'm gonna start popping those off. I'm gonna PV blast this side. I have the other side soaking, so as soon as those sit for a little while, I'll get back to it and show you guys how to pop them out, what they look like, and how to put them back in. Man, I swear the more I look at this, the more it creeps me out. I mean, okay, so here coming up soon, I'm gonna order up downpipe for this truck. So the downpipe, basically, you unconnect this, and then you got a heat shield that runs up there, and then up top you got another one of these clamps. So you got to loosen all those, pull that pipe out, put the pipe in, and then the pipe connects here. This is going to be where my 4-inch exhaust comes in, goes out, so it's got to connect here. I might have to do anyway, because this thing is just rusted as shit. So what sucks about getting a rusty truck? I mean, when you're wanting to replace all this shit, like if I wanted to replace this exhaust manifold here, it's just rusted to hell, and I'd be afraid of shearing bolts off and shit, so I might as well just leave all that shit there. And the U-pipe or the Y-pipe, I'm going to leave all that shit there because I'm afraid I'm going to break pipe or break bolts there. I know I want to do this because from what I've seen, it opens up your exhaust more, even gives it a different sound, but I don't know. I guess I'll probably have to, because I'll have to take this little son of a bitch off anyway, and this is going to be toast when I'm done, this whole clamp. So I'm going to go back to that dealership and choke people. Anyway, we're going to get to these. I'm going to go ahead and remove the bolt or the nut off each one of these, and put the new ones on, and I'll show you what they look like. Alright guys, so basically all I'm doing is this nut right here is hooked up to a wire. See the wire here? At least on my truck anyway. Just break it loose, loosen it up. Take the nut off. And you just pull this little piece off. Glow plug's right there, so all you got to do is unloosen it right here, pull it out, put the new one in. Alright guys, so just so you know, because I hate it when people make these damn videos and they don't freaking tell you what size of sockets they're using to remove stuff. It kind of helps. Half the time I'm looking for the video just so I can find that out. So the little nut that comes off here, you know, the one I took off first that holds the wire on, it's going to be an 8mm, and all I'm doing is just using this little wrench with an extension on it. Now the big part, which will be right here, to remove the actual glow plug itself, that's going to be a 12mm. So I decided to let you guys know because I hate that. Broke that loose. You got to be real careful with these because you don't want these to break off in there because you're going to be in some trouble. These things are probably older than dirt. The guy that I got this off, well, that traded this in, I think the dipshit never did anything to this truck, but look how city it is. It's just nasty. So, new Glowplugs will be a lot better. That was probably a good one. Actually, I think that was the bad one, but anyway, I'm going to remove that one, and that one, and then put the new ones back in. Okay, so I got the new glow plug. I'm going to go ahead and remove this nut because I'm going to put this on afterwards. Set that aside. My advice to you, which I don't have it right now, but I would put anti-seize right here on these threads just so they don't seal themselves into your block, but I don't have any, and I just got back from the store, and I'm not driving 10 miles back into the store, so I'm going to put them in. The ones that came out before came out alright, and this thing was a rusted heap of shit, so slide it back in the first hole, and just screw it back in. Okay. Tighten her down. And take this little bugger, slide it back over it. Put your little nut back on. And you'll tighten this back down and finish all the rest of them. Pretty easy. Hey guys, new glow plugs are in on this side. The actual glow plugs that came from O'Reilly's that I got, the AC Delco ones, they had a different bit that I had to put the nut on with. No big deal. It's a 7mm instead of the, I think I was using an 8 before on the ones that came out, so sizes may be different, but shit, that was pretty damn easy. Pretty easy access. I mean, everything's just right here. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the other side, do the same damn thing, and then I'll be shooting a video on this bad boy and how to do it. See if we can get this thing running better. Okay guys, I got them in. This side's a little bit harder because you got to move pipes. You can actually pry this one out of the way and this one pry down your steering arm. Pry it down so you can get that one, you can pull it out. These two aren't too bad, but that's all there is to it. I got all the plugs out, put them back in. I'm going to leave all this fender well out because I'm going to work on this later, but normally just put this all back together, fire her up, and she should be good to go. So, pretty easy little job. Sorry it wasn't much of a video, but there's really not much to it, but a lot of cussing and moving shit and all that fun stuff. So, thanks for watching. I'm going to move on to that fuel filter.
Blah, blah, blah. Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm